Hi, welcome back to the Tom Lasseter podcast. Today I'm going to talk about several topics. One of them is eating less, and another one is eating more vegetables, maybe eat a bowl of celery or something. But first, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Lasseter Grasslands Beef. You can find them at lgbeef.com. I think they're one of the best sources of protein known to man, but I'm a little bit biased, so you can go to the website and read about it and see if you like what you hear. lgbeef.com. So, first of all, I want to tell you about a movie that I think everybody who's interested in healthy eating should watch. I don't agree with everything in the movie, but I think it's a really fascinating movie. So, I would check out Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. It's about this Australian guy who is on various medications, and he's probably 45 or 50 and overweight. And he travels around the US to talk to people about what they eat. And he's juicing his way across the US because he's decided to try to get healthy. So I don't necessarily recommend juicing for a month straight, but in his case it worked. But I would, if you do something crazy like that, definitely consult with your doctor, see if it's right for you. But one thing I can say, which I think is a very interesting experiment if you're thinking about eating healthier or just watching what you eat, is get a bunch of organic celery at the grocery store and chop it up into little, 2-inch long pieces. I like to soak it in water for a while to make it extra crispy. And then you can mix up some a balsamic vinaigrette, like get some balsamic vinegar, some olive oil, and some Dijon mustard, and whip it up. You can crack some pepper in there as well. And then just eat an entire bowl. Doesn't have to be a very large bowl, but eat an entire bowl of celery, maybe once a week or twice a week or whatever. Anyway, I think it's interesting because I talked about how they add cellulose to a bunch of processed foods, like they add cellulose to bread, and they add cellulose to cookies, and cellulose to everything. And this is, it's sawdust, but it's not real sawdust. You might actually prefer real sawdust in your food. It's the cellulose that they add to this bread is made through an industrial process. You can look it up. How do you make food grade cellulose? And it's really an industrial process, probably not too dissimilar to making polyester or something. So then they add that to your food and then you eat it and they say, oh, it's just cellulose. Cellulose is generally regarded as safe, which means they have no idea what it does to you in large quantities. But, one of the arguments is, well, it's just like celery. Celery has a lot of cellulose in it. So anyway, if you want to eat a bunch of cellulose, just eat a big bowl of celery, and that's the good kind of cellulose, and it's not going to hurt you at all. And anyway, I think if you eat a bowl of celery once or twice a week, just as kind of a starting point, you might find that you feel better, and maybe you'll add a little bit more celery into your diet. But that's just a little suggestion, and take it with a grain of salt because it might not work for you. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Talk to you soon. Bye.